And we are live here again on Sunday for Carnivore Sunday School. I almost said it backwards. And we have a really special guest today. We have Mrs. Lainey Goodenough. Yes, George's wife, and she has a very, very amazing story to share for us. If you look there in the right-hand side, you'll see George's arm and his hat. He's back there as well. And we also have Coach Juliet, and I am John, your carnivore teacher. So we are going to get started in a minute here before we ask Lainey some really cool questions about her journey. Let's do our normal brief introduction, just a quick hi, hello, where you're from, and what brought you to carnivore. I'll start. We'll go clockwise. So I'm the carnivore teacher alpha. My name is John. I've been carnivore for 3 years, but I've been low carb for a total of 8 years and lost some weight and healed my lower back and my AFib and just my teeth, my gums, my nails, all the stuff that people talk about. So many things have improved that I decided to make this channel and make little lessons, which I put on every day. And I come on live with you good people every Sunday. And I also go on Monday night to share how carnivore, which is a species specific to humans, diet can heal us from the inside out. And it has. And so many people have amazing transformation stories to share about this, even with cancer, even with diabetes and so many other ailments that people are suffering from, skin conditions. Carnivore seems to be cleaning the system up and bringing it back to baseline and allowing people to heal. So I can't smile enough when I talk about it every time. Anyway, I'm from South Florida. I'm 60. I'm just excited to be here every week because we have a wonderful guest every week. I'll pass it over to you, Julie.
Thank you, John. I'm Juliet Edens, known as Coach Juliet Edens, and I've been carnivore, 16 to 18 months. I sort of lost track there. I came in with diabetes, severe reflux, IBD, high blood pressure, anxiety, depression, you name it. And I'm not on any medications any longer. My channel is a little bit about keto carnivore. I sort of moved into general health and wellness for everybody after getting my Dr. Ken Berry's PhD certification, as well as Dr. Kilt's. You could find me at his coaching platform as well. I just love the journey of carnivore, YouTube, all of it. It's been a wild ride. The more I've healed, the more life gets better through carnivore. Absolutely.
All right, Lainey, tell us a little bit about yourself first, and then we'll get into your story more later on. Just tell us who you are. How are you connected to that arm over there in the corner?
Oh, God, don't ask. I'm Lainey Goodenough, married to George. Everybody knows, and I mean everybody. I'm 60. I'm 61 in May. I'm very tiny, but it's not my fault. I started keto after being diagnosed with cancer. I went keto, and then about a year ago, I started going more towards carnivore. And in probably the last about 6 months, I've gone totally carnivore. It's balanced everything. I feel good. DC's been helping me a lot over the past few months. Feel amazing. Off some meds. I still continue the ones that the hospital tell me I have to. But I have come off a few things. Yeah, that's me. Oh, and I live in the UK in Bridgewater in Somerset.
Okay, great. Well, we'll get started then. Tell us, I know that you are dealing with a health issue that's been ongoing. Let's start by sharing with the audience what that is and how this is before carnivore, before your diet. What are we talking about here? It's cancer, yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
In 2021, I started losing massive amounts of weight. I was size 16, 18. And for no apparent reason, I went down to a size 10, 8, 10. literally in a matter of months. The weight was just dropping off me, and nobody could understand why. Was under the doctors who kept sending me for scans, etc. Nothing was showing, but we knew something was wrong. And then eventually I found a lump, and it was quite a big lump. So I went back to the doctors, and you could tell by her face. That was in September of 22. Yeah, 22. It's actually Friday, the 9th of September 2022. You could tell by her face when it's wrong. My lymph nodes and my groin, everywhere, they were like pebbles. They were huge. So she booked me straight into the breast care unit down in Taunton. And basically they told me on that day that I had breast cancer, and it had grown and grown. It was now 5 centimeters by 5 centimeters. So it was very aggressive, and literally within a month I'd had CT, well, not even that, the following week actually I had CT scan, MRI scan, my blood's ripped to pieces, seen my consultant, and he told me that it was really aggressive and they had to get in very quickly. But I was very lucky that it hadn't spread anywhere at that point. It was just in the lump in the breast. I had the PICC line fitted and started chemo on the 21st of October. So there was a few weeks between it all coming together and what they were going to do. So I did 5 months of chemo, which wasn't as bad as what I thought it was going to be, apart from losing all your hair. That was awful. I think that's probably one of the worst things for women that can possibly happen. Take anything, but don't take my hair. That was absolutely heartbreaking. I then had a mastectomy, and it was found out that I actually had, there's a bit of confusion over this one. There is Paget's disease of the bones, and there's Paget's disease of the nipple. And it turned out I have Paget's disease of the nipple, which is very, very rare. And that's what caused my cancer. So after I did that and my radiotherapy, I had to go back onto chemo for 2 years to try and keep it in control, because when they had to stop my chemo early because it continued to spread through my lymph nodes. So they ended up removing 18 lymph nodes instead of just a couple that they were going to take originally. It just carried on growing and spreading through my lymph nodes. So yeah, my treatment is ongoing, really. Bone infusion to try and, because obviously the Paget's disease can affect the bones as well. It's a spin-off of it. So I have bone infusion. I was on chemo for 2 years again, and that finished last September. I take estrogen blockers, but they asked me to go on a new American trial from a stem cell company, which I jumped at because apparently this is hereditary, in brackets. And I've got a daughter, a son, 2 granddaughters, and 2 grandsons at the moment, with another one on the way. So if I can help in any way on a pilot thing or a trial, whatever, I will do it, just to help future generations of our own and whoever else can possibly get this. But in the meantime, obviously sugar feeds everything, as we know. I've watched George's journey, I've watched Juliet's journey, Amy's journey, Grandma's journey, DC's been helping me. And then I started going more and more carnivore. And then on February the 1st this year, because I have been quite sad over it all, it's ripped me mentally, physically to pieces. I decided on February the 1st, I got out of bed and I thought, stop this. I need a life. I've got a 50-50 chance of surviving this. So the 50% chance I've got, I'm going for it. So DC convinced me to have a cold shower. I did, and I bounced down those stairs, and I've not stopped bouncing since. So it's all good at the minute, really good.
That's wonderful. My question that pops up for myself as well as for the audience, can you go back to Paget's disease, because you said that's what led to the breast cancer? What is Paget's more specifically?
I'm gonna have to get George on this one because I don't even understand it. Can we find you? Sorry.
Sure.
George, he delves into everything.
The details, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
I've never heard of it. So,
Paget's,
yes.
yeah.
Paget's disease of the nipple didn't appear until the biopsy on the after the mastectomy. So on the breast, it was removed, and we were never ever actually consulted about it. We just spotted it in the small print on the report, and we had to look into it ourselves. DC helped with that. He actually did a lot of research and sent us the research. It is basically what it is. Paget's disease is more associated with bone cancer. Paget's nipple disease is basically a sign of a precursor to the Paget's bone cancer disease. Hence, Lainey had to have the usual course of treatment for breast cancer, which is poison cut burn, chemotherapy, mastectomy, and then radiography. We were expecting that to be the end of it and that she would go back to work. But because of the risk of Paget's disease, she had to then go on to a further treatment of bone infusion and chemo as well, oral chemo for 2 years. So basically, she was then registered as disabled and has not been able to return since. She will tell you about the side effects of the bone infusion, which has led to a further complication.
Right, off you go.
Off I go.
Thank you.
Good job, George.
Off you go.
Yes.
Off you go.
So is the bone infusion painful? Are you awake for that?
Yeah. It's just like having chemo, really. It's a port cannula in your hand. They heat your arm up, put a cannula in, and it just goes into. What I do find is that it affects my knees really badly because obviously it's going to the bones. The first one, I couldn't even walk. I couldn't get up the stairs. I couldn't bend my knees. They wouldn't take any weight. But it's obviously I have it every 6 months, so my body sort of got used to it. But the consequence of that, again, one of the very rare side effects is osteoporosis of the jaw. And I got osteoporosis of the jaw. So they've had to remove 9 teeth. One obviously at the front, all the back ones, and I've got 2 false ones there. And they had to take that part of my jaw mainly out. It's a very, very thin layer along there of jaw. But again, they thought they would have to take all of it on the last time. They said there's going to be a lot more jaw going, and we'll have to look at putting a titanium jaw in. Carnivore has stopped it in its tracks. Literally, I went last month, I think it was, for a checkup to see how it was going, and it's literally stopped. It's not disappearing anymore. It's not getting any better, but it's not getting any worse. It's just stabilized where it is. So I won't go back there for a little while for another checkup. My dentist can keep an eye on me. And then if she spots anything going on, get me straight back down there. But at the moment, it's all stabilized. So that's another good one.
When you talked about the experimental treatment offered by the states, do you have to go back to the states for that every so often? How does that work?
There's 2 of us. There's only there's just under 4,000 on it worldwide. There's 2 of us, as far as I can understand, in England on it, and we're both in the Taunton Hospital. We're both there, and it's randomized. I got the randomized drug, which is, like I said, it's a stem cell company in New York. So it's a 5-year trial. It's controlling my estrogen and stuff like that. And that's all we know about it, really. It's literally, we don't know what's in it or anything like that. We just take it. And I've got to say, I deal with that a lot better than what I did with the original drugs that I was on. It's been a lot kinder to me, body-wise, health-wise, the sickness, the diarrhea. It's a lot kinder, a lot kinder. So I'm happy on it.
Wonderful.
Yeah, my bloods, I went the week before I went down to the hospital, and they did say my bloods were the best they'd seen throughout the whole journey.
Good.
And it was another doctor that I'd seen. Mine was on holiday, my oncologist, and he said, "What do you eat?" And I went, Right. Told him all about George. I told him what I ate. And I thought, just be honest. I'm going to slap this at you now. Normally I'd stay quiet, but I didn't. I said, we only eat meat. She said, what do you mean you only eat meat? And I said, he's like, what, you don't eat vegetables or anything? I said, no, nothing. We eat meat and that's it. And I told him about George as well, the weight loss and diabetes reversal. And I'll give him his due, he was genuinely interested. And then the research nurse that was with me, she said, well, isn't that expensive? And I went, you don't buy your crisps, you don't buy your cakes, you don't buy your chocolate, you don't this, you don't that. I said, so yes, meat is more expensive, but you take out what you would spend on all the crap.
Right.
And it's no dearer. We don't spend any more money than we used to.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so he was interested, which was nice because I know anybody else I've said it to,
Right.
they don't want to know and they say it's ridiculous.
I'm
But
impressed that he asked what you eat because doctors don't ask you about your diet.
No,
So
I
that
know.
meant he was open-minded about that. That's good.
Nobody's ever asked me that before, ever. He was
Right.
the first
Did he
one.
ask you because the bloods, or as we say in States, the
I
labs
think
were so good?
because of the bloods, he was checking through all my bloods and he said, this is the best your bloods have ever been throughout your journey. Because my tumor markers kept going up and then they come down a bit, then they go back up. And they were waiting until it hit a certain level. And then they said, then we start panicking. So it's all coming nicely back down.
So, Lainey, we know what George eats. You eat pretty much the same thing, a lot of lamb?
Yeah, lamb, beef. My fridge at the moment, I went out shopping this morning. I've now got 8 ribeye steaks in there.
Okay. So steak,
crayfish
lamb.
with it.
So you don't have any carbohydrates. Do you have any eggs? Do you have any fish of any kind?
So we haven't got eggs. We ate too many eggs and both of us sort of had enough of it and we were getting a bit of a reaction to it where we ate so many. So we're having a break from eggs. I do like yogurt, so I keep yogurt in the fridge.
Okay.
And
do you make your own yogurt?
No. I buy it. And we do keep milk. I'm lactose free because of my bones and that as well. I do drink milk.
Calcium.
Could I wanted to ask you, and my brain has so much in it due to my age, it'll take me a second to figure out what I was going to ask you. I believe, and you don't have to answer if you don't want to get into it, but I believe you don't have a gallbladder. And if I'm not mistaken, very often people without a gallbladder maybe have trouble initially moving to a ketogenic carnivore type diet. How did that go for you? Did you have issues? How did you resolve them?
I already had issues because of the medication I take that I suffered quite badly with diarrhea. That enhanced it. That sort of made it twice as worse. And I've sort of just lived with it, dealt with it. But then it's Dr. Nelson, wasn't it? I think Dr. Nelson suggested ox bile supplement. And I don't care what anybody says. For me, it's been a godsend. Absolute godsend. It's unbelievable the difference it's made. And it's just bringing that into it. And it's just changed.
Oops. Froze up a second here. I'll just wait.
Yeah, so it's definitely ox bile if you don't have a gallbladder.
Okay. Bride's Biscuit just mentioned that he's part of the no gallbladder club, 75 to 80% fat carnivore here, no problem. He did post ox bile at the start. Good.
Yeah,
I know. I've heard of a lot of people without a gallbladder. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, mine was taken out about 18 years ago, 17, 18 years ago. 2008.
Okay.
Master of memory back there.
Yes, the encyclopedia. And yeah. we want to go back to benefits in a minute, but what are you doing now? And if those that don't know, we say DC, it's DC Rebuilding. David, if you want to talk a little bit about him, so if people that don't know him will get to know him. And what has he coached you to do? What have you done, and how has it benefited you since you've been working with him?
I think DC understands me because he is, and he's still going through the journey, obviously, because you never get rid of cancer, you're in remission. So he can relate to me and I can relate to him really, really well. And I do get on really well with him. It's taken me 2 years to actually speak to him properly. I've always gone through George because mentally I've been a wreck. But like I said, I'm coming out of that now. He's a god to me, and he is. I don't care who laughs at me. He is. He's my little god. He's encouraged me with the breathing, the having the cold shower. I star jump on one. I have this cold shower. I have a hot shower and then turn it cold. So I've washed my hair and everything. I have a cold shower, and I keep saying, George, do it. You get out that shower and you're just like, bing. And I'm just like dancing around, and then I sit calmly and do breathing, or I'll be jumping around doing breathing. And it just sets me up for the day. It's just helped me so much that this is normal. Don't feel like a twit. It's normal and it's really good for you. He just turned me around since September. George doesn't know what to do with me anymore. He says, I haven't got my wife back. I've got a new wife. She's even worse than what she was in the beginning.
Awesome. Do you do, I guess, weather permitting, do you do that, sleep protocols, sun, all the things we talk about with the lifestyle?
Well, as you know, we live in the UK, so we don't get that much sun. But when it is warm, I'm out there. And we've been lucky. We had a really good summer last year. So I was out in the garden all the time. I've started sorting the garden out, but then it's raining again. And I'm doing the kilts course. So I'm trying to concentrate on getting that done as well. But no, I go out in the garden a lot. I don't go out a lot, especially in the daytime. I tend to be out in the garden.
Yes.
So I try and get out.
Will you become, I know you will earn a certification, become certified by Dr. Kiltz himself, Dr. Nelson, the whole Kiltz clan. Will you be a Kiltz health coach and perhaps help others on a similar journey with cancer and everything?
I'm on Facebook. I belong to a lot of cancer groups on there, and we all help each other. And obviously I've gone through everything and I'm just on trying to maintain me now. So I'm honest. Stop lying when they, no doctor or anything tells you how bad chemo is going to be, how mentally this is going to affect you. For while you're having chemo, they suggest you don't go out and mingle. We were really outgoing, me and George. We were out all the time with our friends in crowded places. You can't do that anymore because your immune system's so compromised. And I ended up in that shell where I didn't want to go anywhere. I wouldn't leave the house. I was scared. I couldn't get out that door. And then how ill you can feel, the difference in your size, your hair's gone, you look totally different. You're really conscious of your body. It's horrible. And nobody warns you about all that. And the treatment that you're going to continue after you finish the cut, burning, what have you. So I'm very honest with them. I say, oh, you're going to feel like shit. Sort of thing. It's awful. It's horrible. Hopefully you won't go through it as bad as this, but I'm just warning you, it can be that bad. PICC line is one of the ones where you have the line put in your arm ready for chemo and it stays in for 6 months. So you have to go to the hospital every week and have it cleaned and flushed, and then you have the chemo a couple of days later. When they put my line in, they said to me, oh, it's only 10 minutes, it's fine. I went on my own saying, Giorgio, they've said they literally numb your arm, do it with a scanner, in it goes, fine. I was there for 6.5 hours and I looked like Freddy Krueger when I came out. Mine went in, did a figure of 8 and got stuck in my vein. So they had to then take me down to a big scanner to try and get it out without actually breaking that vein. I was covered in blood. It was everywhere. My vein went. It was awful, but I mean, that's what can happen. It should only take 10 minutes, but I was there for 6.5 hours while they sorted this mess out in my arm. So I do warn people the worst side of it, as well as this shouldn't happen, but so that they're prepared, because I think it's unfair that you go into these things thinking everything's going to be wonderful and it goes wrong, and then you think you're the only one, and it's not. You know, everybody should be warned what could go wrong, and you just pray it doesn't, because you get that when you have a normal operation. You might die, yeah, okay, but you don't get any of that. You know, your veins might collapse. This could take a lot longer. It could be painful. You're going to feel bad. So I sort of help everybody that way, but I can't speak. I can say about the carnivore diet to them, but I don't know the ins and outs of everything. So when George said to me, do the coaching and you'll have a lot more knowledge to back all that up. So hence I'm doing the course at the moment so that I can add that into it as well, saying, you know, we all know sugars feed cancer and that, but try explaining that. Well, why does it feed cancer? Because it does. Because it does. Because George says so.
Good enough for me. George said so.
Absolutely.
Lainey, I have a question for you. You said you guys don't get a lot of sun there in the UK most of the year. Are you taking any supplements like vitamin D3 and K2?
Yeah. I take K3. The hospital actually supply me with all that because of the bone infusion. So yeah, I take the calcium and vitamin D K3.
Good.
Every day.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I take the ox bile supplement, and I also take collagen. But that's my choice, the collagen in the ox bile. So I do top up with that.
Lainey, because of you, I started the collagen powder because, you know, we get our information on live chats and people say, you don't need it, you don't need it. And I thought, well, I don't need it. But holy cow, it's been a month and my nails are like, you know, like claws already, like the growth. I cannot believe it. And then I know I have the long hair, but, you know, as I get older, it sort of leaves. That's like even filling in. It's crazy. The stuff I used to pay for, all the growth products and stuff, and collagen, I use type 1, 2, 3. It's animal based, but it's pretty cheap. I throw it.
Yeah, I get mine off Amazon, off a company off Amazon. It's made a huge difference to my hair, definitely, and my skin. But all the chemo radiotherapy affected my nails. I mean, I lost them. My nails fell off, my toenails and my fingernails. It's horrible. And they're still very, very weak, which was why I started the collagen. But it's done wonders for my hair and my skin, but it's not having a huge effect on my nails. So I'm just keeping going.
But yeah, it probably is going to take time, you know, because nails and hair grow slowly. Yeah. Wow. We, any questions? If anybody has a question, we invite you to type a QQQ there in the comment, and Juliet will put the question up and Lainey will answer the question. Everyone's cancer journey is different. Very different. I've spoken with David Charles, DC, many times, many interviews we shared. His journey is phenomenal. It's amazing. He's so optimistic and positive. I can see why you're getting so much help from him. He has so much knowledge, and there's so much out there now for us to listen to on social media. Thank goodness. Now, I'm sure that you're aware of the effect with the sugar feeding the cancer, but also what is that other amino acid that can feed cancer? I don't know if you've had a drug available to pulse that. What is that called? Glutamine, I believe. Are you aware of that?
Yeah, it is glutamine, and the
George, we need your.
Come back here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
We've kept him quiet for half an hour.
Okay, so what we're talking really in history is the Otto Warburg effect.
Well, right.
In the 1920s, he recognized glucose. He didn't know about glutamine. Professor Seyfried has taken on his work and identified glutamine. The pulse drug which Professor Seyfried talks about is called Don. I'm not sure it's readily available. So no, we're not undergoing the pulse treatment at the moment as such. But obviously the most important thing is to get rid of the glucose, and then deal with the glutamine later. Obviously, you know, those of us who like to believe the carnivore diet is a cure-all, that's not what we're doing. We are using the pharmaceuticals available to us, including chemotherapy and the drug which is called elacestrant. It's a study drug from Stemline Therapeutics of Lexington Avenue, New York. But what Carnivore is doing is fighting the side effects of the pharmaceuticals. That is the thing. Myself, Lainey, and Stephanie Taylor, who's also a cancer sufferer, came up with a little phrase, which is that chemo fights cancer, but carnivore fights chemo. So that's the story behind that one.
I love that.
Appreciate that. That brings me to fasting, Lane. Oh, sorry, Julia. To fasting, because fasting can lower glutamine at times. Are you doing any kind of fasting, even just intermittent fasting?
No, I don't, purely because I'm 5'4" and I'm only actually 51 kilos, which is however many pounds. And I think if I fasted, I don't want to lose weight. I want to gain. I actually gained 2 kilos. I was over the moon today when I got on the scales. I was like, so yeah, I want to lose weight. I think gain weight. Gain weight. Sorry, gain weight. That's because I've got to go back for my next lot of bloods. My next lot is for bone infusion, so that is just literally making sure I'm okay. But I go back and have all my bloods ripped to pieces in end of April. I am thinking of doing a 24-hour fast before I have those bloods done, just to see what happens. But as for a long fast, no, I wouldn't do it. Not unless I had to. If it came back, it would be a different story.
Does DC talk about fasting at all with you?
Not with me, because he knows I won't.
No. All right.
I won't. I'm not. I don't want to do that because I don't want to lose weight. I just don't.
I understand.
I want to gain weight.
Do you eat your meat like cold and raw, like George does? And why or why not?
Sorry?
Do you eat the meat raw or slightly cooked? How do you?
Mine's cooked. I like it rare. Don't get me wrong. I like it rare, but no. No. Absolutely not. No. I can now sit with him while he eats it, which I could never do before. He used to say, right, I'm having my meat, and I used to go, walk away from the table, go to another room. So I can sit with him now. But oh God, no. Even if my steak's really, really under to the point that I can taste it's raw in the middle, I pop it back in. No. Mine's got to be cooked.
There's a lot of different opinions on that, in the YouTube world.
Yeah, if you want to do it, do it. It doesn't bother me, but it's not for me. It's not for me at all. No.
That's a fair assessment. We all have different. I know that I would never have eaten anything rare, which is like cooked on the outside and almost raw, rare in the middle. Yeah. That's how I do it now, black and blue. Like I've changed, I've adjusted. So some people, you never know. In the future, you may start making it a little more rare and a little more rare. Because it is good to not kill the vitamins, especially the water soluble vitamins. Yeah.
Yeah, I do have it. Probably I go medium rare. That is still very, very red on the inside, but it's not pouring blood out and raw. A lamb, I love pink lamb. It's got to be nice and pink. We had duck today, but it wasn't a very good duck. We were both disappointed today. Oh. Yeah, it's a bit sad, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it's tasteless. Boring. It's very boring, and I put loads. I buy the salt. That's hand harvested crystals from Cornwall. So it's very pure and very clean salt. And even that couldn't save it. It was just like, this is tasteless. Really, it was really. So I won't buy any more ducks from there. They were rubbish.
We don't have lamb readily available like at supermarkets and things here in I'm in Springfield, Southwest Missouri in the United States. A lot of cows, lots and lots and lots and lots of cows. So I don't recall ever trying it, but I look forward to trying it when I'm out there in England visiting you and George in a few
Lambs
months.
are everywhere in England. Lamb, sheep,
Yeah,
everywhere.
Lamb is
Yeah.
great, Juliet. Oh my goodness.
I can't wait.
We're lucky to have them here at our grocery store.
They're delicious. Yeah,
So-
somebody was talking on Grandma's, I think, or it might have been DC's last night about lamb, and they'd never had lamb.
Ah,
I don't think I have.
Yeah,
And I've looked for it, and it's just not
Yeah.
local. You know, we're a small town, and
Yeah.
very cattle driven. The cows very much so.
lamb is supposed to be land fish. It has a lot of omega-3s like fish have. Very good for you. And all lamb, as far as I understand, almost all lamb is grass-fed and grass-finished. They only
Yeah.
eat grass, so
Yeah.
it makes their content of their fat and their protein just the best. It's so good for you if you can get it. Oh,
Wonderful.
I love
Yeah.
the flavor.
Larry notes that the best lamb. I don't know if you want to hear this, George and Lainey, but the best lamb Larry has ever had was when he was in Ireland a couple of years ago.
Ah,
Well, I get all my beef from Ireland.
very
It's
good.
called Flour, and I order everything, and then they send you the tracking, and it comes over from Ireland, goes through customs, lands here, and then it gets delivered to the house. But yeah, that all my beef comes from Ireland.
I can't wait to try it. I was going to order online, but I thought I better try it first, make sure I like it, which I believe I would.
Oh,
Um,
you will. Lamb is out, and the fat on it is to die for.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It
that'd be
is.
nice.
It is. Certain people don't like the fat on lamb. They
Oh.
don't like it, and it's like you either love it or you don't love it.
Yeah, I'd
So
rather
you may
the
not,
fat.
Juliet. You have to try it.
Yeah. The fat, I'd rather eat the fat than the meat.
I
I
know.
love the meat, don't get me wrong, but if I had more fat than meat, I'd be happy.
It's the
Very
flavor.
happy.
Yes.
Yeah, it's delicious. Really,
Absolutely.
really. We'll make sure you have lamb when you come over, Juliet.
Absolutely. Bride's
Yeah.
Biscuit says, I would never eat beef again if lamb pricing ever would come down. Is it more expensive?
It
It's
is.
just, is it? Oh, okay.
It is. At
It's
least
on par over here, lamb and beef, but we're quite lucky that everywhere I shop or when I'm ordering online, might have an offer on that if you spend so much, you'll get this, and if you have that, blah blah blah. So I always look for the deals. Always look for the deals. I mean, even the free shipping is an added bonus.
Yeah.
Because the shipping can be quite expensive. So yeah, I've got 2 freezers and they're always full. I'm running them down at the moment so I can do a big order, so I don't pay for the shipping in that, and then we fill them back up and then we run them down a bit and then we order again.
I want to put this up here because very good point, George. Lamb is said to have 10 times the omega-3 when compared to beef. And, you know, we talk in the carnivore community about omega-6 and omega-3 fatty acids. And, you know, beef, if it's grass-fed, grass-finished, is higher omega-3. But lamb, it's like eating fish, like eating wild-caught fish. You're getting, and we need more omega-3s because there's just omega-6s everywhere. There's too much of it all over the place. So lamb is the ticket if you can get it.
I think Juliet's going to go mad on lamb, and then we're going to have to keep shipping it out to her.
Yeah.
Yes. Probably so. Probably
bring
so.
some when we
Well,
come
I'm
to-
glad I'm
come to-
glad you don't fast and things like that, because I don't either. And when I go there, I plan to eat. And of course, I'm bringing hubby along, who is not yet carnivore, but he's gonna eat what you and George eat.
Is Doug
and
keto?
I eat. So we'll see how that goes.
I mean,
I
I
wouldn't
do.
even
If
say
we go
keto.
out-
It
if
just
we go
depends.
out
But
for a meal, I do have what I want. Like George will not have a side in any way, shape, or form. He just has a steak on a plate.
Right.
If we go out, if I fancy a roast, so say I'm having roast lamb, I will have cauliflower cheese with it.
gotcha.
I mean, we don't go out that often anymore for meals, do we? But I will, because I love cauliflower cheese. I don't have it in the house anymore, and I don't make it in the house anymore. But if we go out for a meal and I think, oh, no, I'm going to have the roast lamb, and I'm going to just say, no, I don't want the carrots, I don't want the sprouts, I don't want this, I just want the bowl of cauliflower cheese with mine.
There you go.
Yeah.
And Doug's a little bit more like that. You know, he definitely doesn't eat the veggies anymore. He feels so much better. And I think the stuff he does eat is like he'll have white rice. But he won't run out to get the Chinese food anymore, which is nice. He could just make it with his own chicken and spice. You know, so rapid improvements. But I always say he was the first one, and we laugh at, you know, my daughters and I, that came home years ago, and we're like, yeah, Mr. Health Nut, he's the opposite. That was me. And he came home and just threw out all the seed oils years ago. He's like, these are damaging, don't eat them. And he would send us stuff, and you know, we'd be like, Dad's going crazy. But I gave him up because we didn't have him in the house. So it's interesting what. Yeah. But a lot of times,
gone down. They both work. Her and her husband always have done, and because they work long hours and that. Chloe's a manager out at Hinkley Point, the nuclear station out there. And Tom has his own business with motorcycles. They were always getting takeaways every single night. They got a takeaway, and it tended to be Domino's pizzas every single night. And then when they bought their big house, when they had children, they had to obviously have bank statements to get their mortgage. And literally every other listing on that statement was Domino's pizza.
Oh.
Wow.
So it really hit home to them how much they were spending and how often they were having it. So we were coming home one night. I think we've been down your brother's, haven't we? And we were walking home in Domino's pizzas on the way, and they were having a delivery with the big articulated lorry with Domino's pizza on the side. So I took a photograph of it and I sent it to my daughter, going, "Your delivery's on the way." But no, we've got to stop. We've got to stop having takeaway. I mean, now they've got children, it's completely changed. But yeah, they used to live on takeaways, literally live on them.
It's easy to have a ritual and a habit that we repeat over and over again. It becomes part of your life until someone shows you what you're doing and you realize. And then like there's so many things I used to do that were not healthy, that it was just a habit. We did it because I've always done it. And then once you break away from that, and then you look back and you're like, I can't believe I used to do that.
Yeah. Well, we used to
sounds like the Domino's thing.
Every Friday, Saturday night. And you'll see it, Juliet, when you come over. The hotel is there, and then you've got a kebab stroke burger house next door, a fish and chip shop opposite, and a Chinese. So we came out every Friday, Saturday night from the pub drinking and go and get a takeaway. We haven't had a takeaway for 2 years. Because even me being keto, when I was ill, we didn't bother having that. We were just eating. I mean, I was keto, so I was having veg and meat. And you were just having meat, weren't you? Yeah, so yeah, we haven't had to take away for years.
Isn't that something? Yeah, it's always interesting when people say, doesn't it cost a lot? And that's a good, valid question. Don't get me wrong. And I asked that too, before I started. And then you realize how cheap it is. And you realize, because I'm not going to Wendy's every day for lunch, picking out a healthy salad and Diet Coke for $10.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
Yeah, because I do ladies, we call it ladies what lunch. We go out used to be every month. I didn't go out for a long time through this journey, but I've started going out with them again now. So we go out like once every 2 months. And they say, come on, you can have a drink. Or, have sausage and mash or something like that. I don't want the mash. I don't want this, I don't want that. And I'm really picky on what I eat. And they go out for ladies what lunch, but they all meet their husbands in the pub afterwards. So it's a whole, literally from 1:30 in the afternoon till 8 o'clock at night. So what I do now, I go out with them and meet them at 12:30 or whatever. And then I come home. Because I can't sit with you all while you're now on your 7th drink. I'll call it drink. I'm going home. I've had what I want. I'll pick around it. Whatever food I pick, I don't say don't bring the chips or don't bring this or don't bring that. I leave it and they'll eat it.
Lainey, are they understanding of your situation and why you make these choices? Do they get why you're not having all the alcohol?
yeah, they're more understanding with me than they are of George.
Ah,
Because
this-
I'm doing it because I was ill. And
Yes,
to them,
yes.
cancer, I mean, they still think I should do this and I should do that.
Yes.
But they don't argue with me when I say no. They used to, but they know now when I say no, it means no.
good.
You know, and if I don't want to go out, I won't go. Whereas George, they moan, don't they, really?
Yeah, they moaned, but I've just given up.
Yeah, so he doesn't. Well, because ladies what lunch happens and men what lunch happens. So the husbands go one way and the females go the other. He doesn't go with them anymore.
Yeah.
Because nagging at him, it'll get his back up. So he doesn't go. I do. But like I said, I'll go out for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then I come home.
Yeah, we put a mirror up in people's faces when we say no to things that are unhealthy. People get even if you don't say anything, they get offended because they're partaking in the alcohol and all the carbs and all the sugar, and you don't have to say anything but abstain. And a lot of people are uncomfortable with that because I think deep down they feel like they know they're not supposed to do it.
Yeah, I mean, we used to drink all the time with them. That's the thing. I mean, I still do have a gin and tonic here and there, a real one. But if I went out with them and only have one, they go, well, you can have another, or you can have another. Oh, you can't go home. You can't go home. And I'm like, I'm going home. I'm going. See you later. Bye.
Hi.
See, I would rather pop into people's houses and have a cup of tea and a chat.
Well, I've been to England a couple of times before in Scotland and such, but this journey will be different. I'll remember it because last time we went, me and Mom in 2019, we hit every pub, how to have when we went to Scotland, all the scotch, even on the tourist van, it's like, I kind of remember it.
Yeah, England's like that. It's drink. Wow. Yeah. Our friends still do it, and they don't go home until they're drunk. I mean, and they're all in their 60s. I mean, my best friend, Annie, she's 72, and she was out Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I was going out with her today, but I messaged her this morning, so I'm not coming out. I'm like, no, I don't want to. I don't want to drink in a pub. I want to get on with my course, concentrate on all that. So I just say, sorry, I'm not coming out today, and that's fine. She doesn't argue with me, just goes, okay, catch you in the week.
Lainey, I want to switch gears a little bit again, and then I'll be quiet so John could ask his questions. But at the beginning, we were talking about some of the benefits you've had eating this way. We were talking about your eyes a little bit. Can you tell us more about the benefits?
Oh, my eyes, especially. So when I had chemo, they do that's one of the things that can affect your eyesight. Mine got so bad that I had to have new glasses, and I wear varifocals as well. I literally am blind as a bat. And then over the last probably couple of months, even now, I'm struggling at this screen. I was thinking, I need new glasses. I really, we've got Sky and it's up on the wall, and I was struggling to see what was on in things. So I booked an appointment to go and have my eyes tested. And I've obviously been proper carnivore for the last 6 months, I suppose. And my eyes have got better. Not a huge amount, but they're better. So I've got new glasses coming on Thursday, very trendy ones. My eyes have got better. So I'm really, really pleased. And I put it down to carnivore and settling me settling on a set diet that I enjoy. I'm happier, healthier, brighter, annoying George really badly. So I get my new glasses, so that's good, really good, and they're not so strong. Woo-hoo.
And your skin.
All right, question for you, Lainey. You are coming. You're here right now with us live on camera, and George and I started this way back in June or July of last year. And I remember I asked him once a little while back, "Bring Lainey on. When did she come on?" "Oh, I don't think she's ready yet. Or maybe you would pop your head in and then
Yeah.
jump back out again. Tell me how you feel, your confidence, and you just seem so like excited to talk about your story now and how different that was before.
Yeah, I think when you get diagnosed and go through the treatment and your body changes so much, I was bubbly and happy, and then obviously I lost all this weight, became quite skinny. Obviously I lost my breast. I didn't go for reconstruction. I'd lost my hair. I didn't feel myself anymore. I was affected mentally. I lost my confidence. I lost me, completely lost me. And that's, I mean, I had counselling because I said I need to find me again. But that was a long time ago. That was right in the middle of my journey. I lost me. I didn't have any sparkle. I didn't have any get up and go. I couldn't look in the mirror. I just literally couldn't look in the mirror. I was so smacked in the face, I suppose, by everything that had happened. And then, I don't know, talking, that's helped as well on Facebook, that I'm in these groups.
Good.
And there's a lot of people there that feel exactly the same. How do you cope? What do you wear? I mean, I even put photographs because I have a prosthesis, a proper one. The hospital will give you one. But I prefer what they called a softie. It's after you've had surgery. It's just a little boobie, really, a little boob, a little breast, but you've got stuffing in it and you can take it up to how big you are or down to how little you are. So I've only got a tiny bit of stuffing in mine, but I find that comfortable. And I've stuck with that. So I actually took photographs and sent it to these people, which I'd never have done before. But I've been slowly watching more and more. Grandma, Juliet, Amy, yourselves, Sunday School, I've always watched. And my confidence going up there. And I'll be totally honest, it was the last couple of years, year and a half. Everybody thinks we're the perfect couple in carnivore. We were struggling at one point, really struggling, because I wasn't carnivore. I was depressed. I was sad that he had all these new friends and I wasn't included in this life anymore. So we really struggled for quite a long time and put on a front to everybody, sort of thing. But then this year I've gone, no, we need our marriage to work. We love each other. This is stupid. I changed my diet a lot and
yeah, absolutely. Just to clarify, I really started getting into the carnivore community in Oggy, and the second carnivore I met was Lauren Tucker, who lives about 20 miles from us. And because she was so close, Lainey was actually afraid that Lauren and I were going to join an American cult. We were going to run off together hand in hand to America and take all our money with us. Lainey was that actually paranoid of it. As I think everybody now knows, Lauren is a very good friend of ours. And she is one of the Great British Meetup Committee. We will be seeing her again very shortly. So yeah, it's been a great turnaround. But yeah, in October 23, Lainey was absolutely convinced carnivore was a cult, and that we were going to run off together and spend all our money. But here we are in March of 26, 2.5 years later, and a total turnaround. So it's been it's been a massive transformation.
It's been a bit of a wonky ride, but we've not left each other. We've worked our way through it, carried on doing everything, even going out together, going away together. We knew we could get here. We had to get here, but it was finding how we worked it all together. And then me coming into the carnivore world more, like I said, meeting Grandma, meeting Juliet, meeting Amy, meeting yourself. Well, I knew sort of John anyway. Obviously, I'd known about DC for a long time, but now I'm in there. I'm typing. I'm having a laugh. I accept that this is George's world, and I'm coming in now. I'm part of it.
And it's your world now. It's your world.
Your world now.
Yeah, and it's community, and that's George's whole thing is about how powerful. Absolutely powerful and healthy it is to be part of the community. And you started it just with Facebook, right? And now you're expanding it, and it's just being involved and feeling the support and the encouragement. And you're a beautiful, beautiful lady.
So you
Oh
are
my
the
gosh.
first two people we've admitted that to, I think. But yeah, it's been, you know, and I've watched a few people. I mean, close contact with two people that I shall not name, and they're having problems
Okay.
themselves, and I'm like, you can work, you will work it out, you will. And we've been talking. One's definitely worked it out. They're doing really well. The other's still on the bouncy trip, but you've just got to go with it. You know, like we decided we loved each other too much to even try and let this wonky road break us up, that we would work together and whatever, you know. I'm now saying I was up till 3 o'clock this morning. I haven't done that in 4 years. With DC and then on to grandma, and then I'm like, oh, I've got to go to bed now. But I'd never have done that. So I've just changed my attitude completely and grabbing life by its doofers and just enjoying it. And I love everybody. I just love everybody in the carnivore world. It's brilliant. Absolutely love it. So I'm glad I gave myself a kick up the bum with the help of DC, obviously, massive kick up the bum and sort myself out. And, you know, life's for living. And I'm going to live it.
Good.
Have you met DC in person? And is he coming out? I mean, in June?
Oh, he's in Australia, isn't he?
Yeah.
Okay, there is just a quick one. That one up.
That's-
DC the other night said he's going back to Japan permanently to live with his wife.
Oh,
And he said when he gets back, we are to go out and visit him, and we are going to have a meet up with Dave Mack in Tokyo. So that's
So we could,
I'll
something
go. I've been to Japan. I think I'll go to that
Yeah.
one.
oh yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Probably. If, I think the plan is either not 2028 or 2029, so it's
Okay.
still some way away.
Time
that
to
is
save up.
That is definitely the plan.
Yeah.
DC wants us to visit him out there, and with the promise of a meet up in Tokyo with Dave as well. So that will be a memorable meet up.
I'd like to go to Japan, definitely. I wear chopsticks in my hair. Oh yeah, I just wave my arm around. That's another side effect. I wear a sleeve permanently because I have lymphedema in my arm. But I can't heal it because the reason I've got it is I have no lymph nodes under my arm.
Oh,
So you can't heal what's not there.
is it just your arm, or do you any other limb?
I'm having problems, especially with, believe it or not, my right leg. So they're looking into that at the moment to see what's going on, because it looks like lymphedema. But obviously, I've had no lymph nodes removed from down that area. So hopefully, exercise, cold water, breathing. I wear a compression sock on it at the moment. Well, both of them, just to keep it in tow until we find out whether it definitely is lymphedema or not. I've got to go and have some tests done. But I know I can work on that. But with my arm, I can't do anything because the lymph nodes aren't there to do anything with. So yeah, I am in a permanent sleeve on that arm, but I've been on there for years. It's part of my dress code now, so it doesn't bother me. So yeah.
You should get the sleeve painted like John's arm, and you could have like a tattoo sleeve.
There you go.
They did get me a pink one, but because believe it or not, I'm so tiny, especially my arms and that, they don't do them that small. They do a children's one, but they're not long enough
Not long enough for you.
that way. So yeah, they did get me a pink one, which was slightly too big, and then it didn't do what it was supposed to do. So the only ones we can get in my size are this beigey or the black. So I wear beige. So
We're at 1:59 here, Juliet, so we need to come to a close. This has sped by so quickly. Lainey, thank you so much. You've been a wonderful special guest. Just real quick, I'm John Laspina, carnivore teacher. Find me on YouTube and other social media sites. Over to you, Juliet. You have a new website that's live now. It's beautiful.
Finally, I could say it's live. I mean, I'm still updating things, but it's live. And it's, of course, thank you. It's CoachJulietEdens.com. Facebook the same. Coach Juliet Edens, my channel, all of it. I had to keep it simple for my aging brain. It's all under Coach Juliet.
absolutely. Right, I'm Lainey Good Enough, long-suffering wife of this one. I do have my own YouTube channel, but I don't use it, so it's no good going there. I am on Facebook at Lainey Bridges Good Enough. And I've got a witch's hat and everything on. Otherwise, you'll find me normally tagging around after George, and I will stick my head in and say hello. And I'm normally in the comments for when George is on anywhere. And I'm always on with DC.
Absolutely.
I have a
Okay, so-
feeling we're going to see a lot more of Lainey around the town for sure. Go ahead, George.
Yeah, I'm George. Good enough for you is my YouTube channel. That is currently in mothballs. I'm not sure when it will come out again, but don't bother looking for anything new because I'm far too busy helping Kerry with Healing Humanity. I'm the UK ambassador there. So when it is launched, I will be helping Kerry with the UK launch. I am a moderator and Kilts health coach with Dr. Kilts. And also I'm the UK ambassador basically to pretty much the whole of the USA community. And I am organizing the Great British Meetup this year. I'm playing host to the international visitors, of whom Juliet is one. I can confirm that Dr. Nelson has booked into my local hotel alongside Dr. Kilts and Angela Lero and various other people as well. So very much looking forward to that. So, and also I work 60 hours a week in construction.
Oh.
So exactly, yeah. Thank you, Lenny. So I really don't have time to do much apart from get everywhere I possibly can on other people's channels. You will find me on with Juliet on her lives, Grandma on her lives, DC on his live. Yeah, so it's a very busy world at the moment. I haven't got much time to do my own stuff, so I am supporting everybody else. Kerry, Kiltsy, John, Juliet, DC, Rick, everybody, basically anybody I can. So that's my story.
He took longer than any of us, right? And he wasn't recording tonight.
Excellence is in the details, and George gives details. So
He does.
that's
He does.
fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for this wonderful episode with Lainey Good Enough and George.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll see you next Sunday. So join us. We'll have another special guest. Have a good one.
Bye, guys.
Bye.